scrap station, you know, inherently that means very close positions. But, you know, we've also seen Terrans get really aggressive, go through the rocks in the middle, try to contain outside, and, you know, have a little party just right outside the base of his opponent.
Oh, that is a great point, yeah, because, I mean, we did see that 3 barracks play come out from Blur against Joe.
And, you know, Stalife, I think, kind of, for me, really sort of proved himself in that last match, even after taking a pretty brutal loss in that first one versus Blur. Felt like he played really well, reactionary, kept his component contained, didn't try to rush a win, but really earned that win very nicely.
You know, I would predict that Blur will be going for the 3 racks. Now that we've seen him go barracks on 12, followed by gas, I know that's kind of a bold claim, but Blur seems to just strongly favor those gas barracks plays, even when he doesn't do that big crazy push we've seen him do multiple times. So I would expect him to fall back on one of the other builds that brought him success against Joe. Alternatively, he could do the same build that he did in Game 1, but I still think that the 3 barracks play is a touch more likely.
And Stalife actually going to get some harassment on this building SCV. He is going to get him down to the orange and force him to come back. Finally, that Rax is going to finish. Gas is down as well. So Stalife been really successful so far with that super early scout that he's been utilizing in all the games that we have seen him here. Marine is going to now come out over on Stalife's side. He's now getting his orbital command as well. Well underway for both players and just keeping it out, but he's going to leave with that SCV.
Does look like we see a reactor coming out on this barracks for Blur. No investment in anything else yet. This is pretty typical opening to get the ultra fast reactor. Still hoping to see an extra barracks play come down. Yep, there's the barracks going down for Blur. Almost certain now that he will be doing the 3 barracks opening. In the meantime, we do see Stalife getting a relatively fast factory. No gas thrown down yet. Generally, you build that after your factory goes down, and indeed, there it is being thrown. And hey, a 3 barracks play by Blur. Bam!
There it is right there as he's going to put the other 2 over into the side just in case someone sneaks up in there. Reactor is done now, so Marines will begin pumping out of there. It's going to send this 1 Marine down to the tower, and I like this as well. Controlling it's really important. Look at that response by Stalife. He sees it coming down in his vision, and he quickly retreats out of there. He'll actually send his SCV down to the gold and take that tower, which is something that a lot of people don't necessarily take that tower, so I do like that. It's like, okay, that's cool. I'll just make sure no one can take the gold. Meanwhile, more Marines coming out. Bunker going down at the front. And these first 2 Marines are already going to come out and start working on those rocks.
Yeah, this is a great decision on this map to go for the huge 3 barracks play because of the fact that most players don't expect it, and even if they do, even if they do, it's hard to defend with the wide ramp. But Stalife gonna get the sneak in. He's gonna go over to the expansion first. He only sees that there's 1 barracks. He sees that there's no expo up yet. Will he end up just hanging tight? No, he's going to try to go into the main. There's going to be 2 Marines there to greet him. Amazing, amazing. Oh!
I think he saw something over there.
He did see a barracks with a tech lab, so
yeah,
not hidden quite well enough, Mr. Blur.
Yeah, a little bit back would have made a huge difference. And here comes the factory scout anyway. Looking at the rocks, it's already about 1/3 the way done, and more Marines are coming out. Stim is on the way. We do see a Banshee popping out along with Cloak for Stalife, and combat shields also for Blur. So this is just going to be some crazy timing. I think what would be scary is that Banshee popping out and ultimately doing a lot of damage to Blur while his army is very far away from his base.
Looks like Blur has not yet invested in another mule, actually getting the engineering bay, and there's the scout with the factory. This is an amazingly strong sign that a Banshee is coming. I mean, what other build do you not need a factory on, but still get the factory really fast? Probably a Banshee play, so that indeed is what is going down. Looks like Scan is not being saved anymore from Blur. Should be throwing down that turret momentarily. Going to invest in more depots first. He has almost knocked through that first entrance, and there is the Banshee in the base. Oh, with the Cloak not quite done yet, but still wanted that turret up just a smidge earlier. Marauder's still going to try to take out those destructible rocks, but a lot of damage being dealt by Stalife.
Oh, ton of damage being done right here, and Cloak is about to finish, so him taking out this Banshee would be huge, but no, he's going to smartly move away. He also stopped him from doing this rocks. However, I liked what Blur did. He took 3 Marauders and kept them going against those rocks. The Banshee had a good idea about that and is now plugging away at them. Of course, they cannot hit those air units, so what a pain that is. He's now going to split his army a little bit. Looks like he'll take the whole thing, continuing this Marine production. But I think this is a great answer for Stalife here, really controlling what Blur's army has to do.
Yeah, I mean, if that turret got up just 20 seconds earlier, would have been no dice for the Banshee. Blur would have been able to push in and go for the easy kill. But it looks like this Banshee has found, another little magical location where nothing can hit it. So there's the stim and the cloak, but does he have a scan? He does, and he...
Oh, no.
No!
Oh, no.
Oh, Blur. You know exactly how Stalife felt in Game 1.
Now, I mean, you know that your opponent's spending money on Banshees. You've got a reasonably sized army. What's stopping you from just moving forward? I mean, at this point, it's kind of already an all-in. Neither guy has expanded. He's got far more units. Is that exactly what he's going to do right now?
Looks like he is darting forward to try to do a little bit of pushing action, but because these Banshees can cloak one at a time, it means that he needs to spend one scan for each Banshee to get through them all. So he's trying to get it positioned well. Trying to pull the Banshee away from the cliff. It's so hard to pick off these cloaked Banshees, though. It's almost the same reason why you go for Dark Templar against Terran. They need to spend scans just to be able to walk to your base. So Blur is feeling very unconfident about moving out.
I like this Banshee play. He's really not had to, he's just made just a few Banshees. He's got several chilling back at base. A lot of Marines here in the bunkers. A tank is now out. And unfortunately, that timing window for Blur, if he would have hit it prior to that first Banshee, would have been pretty awesome. And at this point, I just don't think he's going to be able to safely leave his base and go on for attack. 2 more Banshees incoming. This is going to be trouble.
Looks like these 2 Banshees are darting up to try to pick off this reactor. Very easy building to target. Takes so long to build, yet has so little hit points. And there they're just cloaking, darting back, picking it off. Blur gonna pull back, saying, you know what, I can't build out of the reactor and tech at the same time, so that is fine. There is the command center from Stalife landed at the island. Great move.
Another Banshee coming in through the back. It's going to sneak in, flies right over those proxy barracks. Additionally, you see Stalife actually scouting with those Banshees, and I did not even notice this day, but we do have the island expansion taken now for Stalife, so he is really setting himself up very nicely. I think that Blur is quickly falling behind, and what's so crazy is that his opening, I was like, this is definitely going to work, but the timing was just stomped by Stalife.
Yeah, Stalife just did a great response. I'm a little curious as to why he's opting for this tech lab with the starport. I would have thought that perhaps going for a double reactor, getting a bunch of drop ships, trying to run into the opponent's base from behind would have been the most effective choice, but looks like he wants to opt for that Raven really quick and then go for a direct straight front push. There's more Banshee harass being so annoying. There is the cloak, and gosh, Banshee starting for Blur with cloak. I am quite surprised. I don't think that Blur is going to have a good way to pull out of this one.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. You know, sometimes a player will counter with what their opponent's already doing, and that's not necessarily the best thing to do. They're really trying hard to get rid of this Banshee. Finally, they do, but there are still several left. And the nice thing is that owning this island expansion, he can use this as a little pit stop for the Banshees, get in there, do some damage, and then a lot quicker to go back, get the repairing SCVs done right there. He'll take out an SCV, build in a supply depot. I mean, he is just playing remarkably.
Look at this unit's loss tab. Just so many kills from those Banshees by Stalife. And I love the choice of getting the double factory. Basically saying, that's fine if you want to go Master Marine Marauder. I'm not going to attack anytime soon. And you will not be able to kill me anytime soon. And oh, how tragic it looks like this choice of island expansion is going to be a lot of free kills for Blur's Banshees. There is no eBay in sight. But you know what? Stalife is just so far ahead. I don't think he even really minds so much. Yeah,
in fact, he was building that eBay right here, trying to look around to see if another one is coming out, and it doesn't look like it is in production right now. So here comes the dropship with the Marines. Cloak has finished, but he has not. There he goes. He launches it up, going to work on those Marines, see if he can also take out the mules and the remaining SCVs there. So it was a decent attack. There comes the scan, and not good, as he is easily able to get out of there. And a second a second Banshee now making its way in.
Oh, looks like it is just doing so much damage from both sides. These Marines are getting hit all over the place. It means that no one scan can spot both of these 2 Banshees. He scans to hit the south one, but no, doesn't manage to take it out, nor does he get the right one. More wasted scans going down. good harassment by Blur, who's actually evening up the scores a little bit, but you'll note that there is still no Expo attempt by Blur in the slightest, now moving over to this island expansion with some Marines of his own.
They're trying to take out that, oh my god, he's kept that eBay from finishing. Here comes the drop for Blur. He is going to get rid of it. It is canceled. Forced to cancel, and now here comes a move out while this island expansion is getting taken by Stalife. He's moving through the middle, and oh my god, this is where it's going to be nasty. If he sieges up just outside, there's going to be little that he can do, not only to expand, but this army is toast.
Oh my goodness, that is the worst feeling in the world for Blur. Oh gosh, Stalife does not even mind that he lost his island. That was such... I mean, Blur almost distracted himself in that spot, but does he have enough for a scam? No, he doesn't! Oh no, he could end up losing all these tanks if he has enough. No, he doesn't have enough energy for Cloak. A total tragedy, but I mean, really, these tanks still can get caught out of position. Ooh, blocking off the Marines. I don't know how much I like that play, and it looks like all the SCVs darting forward right now. One of the Banshees does fall. Here's the stim forward, but everything from Blur is being funneled into a giant kill zone. He will dart forward. It looks like he will pick off the tanks, but at the cost of losing all his Marines. Stalife rolls on in for the kill.
That looks like it's going to be GG here as Cloak Banshees move in, take out one of the factories. More Marines moving in as well. All that is left is a few Marauders. Look like he put down a command center to take over that island, but it's just not going to happen. We won't even get that far. SCV worker count down to 2, and Blur is going to have to say GG here. And, oh, I didn't even notice gold was picked up as well just now for Stalife. So pretty much throwing down every ace that was in his hand, and that was a good enough hand to win this one. Even if somehow there was recovery, he has a great economy. This final army. Why haven't we seen GG possibly just calming himself now as he gets ready for what could be the final game of his tournament?
Well, Blur still perceives his opponent as having just this one base, so he's thinking, oh, and he wins the land race. Will he win again? And he wins the second one, so that at least is a moral victory. Blur doing some good amount of kill damage, but he doesn't know about this base and definitely doesn't know about this one. There, the Marine starting forward picks off that last remaining Banshee, and there's the good game from Blur as Stalife takes the series to 2-1.
Yeah, a good game, and he's going to say go Delta. Score screen pops up, so Delta Quadrant by Blur.